مرحبا بكم يا أصدقائي. In today's lesson, we are going to learn how to conjugate verbs in Form 2 in Arabic. However, before we get started, if you enjoy these videos and you would like to see more Arabic videos, then please hit subscribe now, as it really helps the channel grow. شكرا جزيلا. لنبدأ. So in Arabic, there are many different verb forms. However, it is common to learn the first 10 verb forms, as these are the most common. Now, what is Form 2? Form 2 is often, but not always, an intensive or causative version of a verb in Form 1. However, sometimes a verb doesn't have a form in Form 1. It just appears in Form 2 and other forms. Let's see some examples to illustrate this. So we've seen the verb darrasa, which means to study. Now, in Form 2, we have darrasa, which means to teach. Now, we can see the correlation here, as when you teach, it is the active or, let's say, causative form of to study, as you are literally causing someone to study when you teach. So, darrasa, darrasa. Now, to identify Form 2, you can do this due to the shadda. So, often, but not always, they will write the shadda on top of the middle root letter, and that indicates to you that it is Form 2. Another example, allima, to know. Now, we don't use this verb to know people. We say عرف, to know people. However, we use to know when we use علم when we want to say that we know things or statement. For example, أنا أعلم أن مصر بلد جميل. I know that Egypt is a beautiful country. Now, the Form 2 version is علم, which means to teach. Now, you can see the correlation here, as in when you teach, you are also causing someone to know. And we can notice that it's Form 2 because of the shadda. Let's see some more examples. دخن, to be smoky. دخن is to smoke. So literally causing something to be smoky is to smoke. And you can see that it is Form 2 because of the shadda on top of the middle root letter. However, there are instances when the verb in Form 2 has no correlation with the verb in Form 1. An example is حلق, which is to shave your face or your hair, and then حلق, which is to fly. Now, there's no correlation between the two, except that they both have the same root letters. Form 2 because of the shadda on top of the root letter. Just to note, حلاق is a barber, so it's derived from حلق, Form 1. Now, let's see how to conjugate these verbs in the past. It's the same as Form 1. We just add the suffixes, the past suffixes to the end. So, darastu, darasta, darasti. Check out my video on how to conjugate verbs in the past. I'll attach the link in the description. See some examples. درس المدرس اللغة العربية في الجامعة. The teacher taught Arabic at university. دخن كثيرا خلال الحفلة. He smoked a lot during the party. حلقت الطائرة فوق الجبل. The plane flew over the mountain. Now, let's see the conjugation in the present tense now. The conjugation in the present tense is slightly more tricky, as you have to follow a different vowel format. So, let's look at it. The first vowel is a dhamma, the second vowel is a fatha, and then the third vowel is a shadda. So it's أنا أدرس, تدرس, تدرسين, يدرس, تدرس. Right, pause this, get your pen and paper, and write this out until you memorize this, as it is vital that you learn how to conjugate verbs in Form 2, as this is the vowel pattern to conjugate any verb in Form 2. Okay, let's continue with some examples. لماذا تحب أن تعلم الرياضيات? Why do you like teaching maths? سمعت أنه لم يعود يداخن. سمعت أنه لم يعود يداخن. I heard that he no longer smokes. So لم يعود is no longer. I'll attach my video on how to form this construction, as I've done a video on how to say I no longer do something. هل تستطيع أن تؤكد وقت الموعد? Can you confirm the time of the appointment? Now, let's see how to form the masdar of verbs in Form 2. Now the masdar is the verbal noun. I'll attach my video on masdars explaining them in the description. So to form the masdar, you just firstly at the start you take the three root letters and at the start before in front of the first root letter you put a ta with a fatha on top. Ta, and then in between the second root letter and the third root letter you add a ya. So darrasa becomes tadris, which means teaching. Allama becomes ta'aleem, which translates to either teaching also or education. Dakhana becomes tadkhin, which is smoking. Akkada becomes ta'akid, confirmation or confirming. Let's see some examples. يمكن أن يكون التدريس مرهقا. Teaching can be exhausting. يمكن أن is a great construction as it means can. For example, it is possible that or it can be. So quite literally, it is possible that it can be teaching exhausting. مرهق is exhausting. التدخين ممنوع في هذا المكان. Smoking is prohibited or banned in this place. منع means to prohibit or to ban, or also to prevent. ما زلت تحتاج إلى تأكيد قبل الالتحاق بالجامعة. You still need confirmation before enrolling at university or at the university. احتاج يحتاج إلى is to need. ما زلت is still. I'll attach my video on how to say still in Arabic as it's very important construction. التحق يلتحق ب means to enroll at or to join at or to attend like an institution or a club, for example. That's all for today. I hope you found this video useful. If you've got any questions, please put them in the comment section. شكرا جزيلا وإلى اللقاء.